I'm Jason Fallon. My current position is a region fuel specialist. My history, let's see. I started off doing biotech work for U.S. Fish and Wildlife. I then left and went to work for a state agency, and I did some biotech work and then moved to a heavy equipment operator. I then moved back to U.S. Fish and Wildlife. I left U.S. Fish and Wildlife in the Midwest at that point and went to Grand Canyon National Park, worked there for a while. I then took another job with U.S. Fish and Wildlife in Colorado, and then transferred to the BLM in Idaho, and then moved to the Forest Service in Northern California, and still work in California and other areas. Last year, we had a little bit of lightning come into Olympic Peninsula, and I was asked to go up there and help out the FMO. And these fires were, some of them were in the back country and some of them were kind of, I guess, more in the front country, a little bit closer to some visitor use areas. So I went up there and we had a robust discussion about what to do with these fires. The Olympic Peninsula is a little unique in that, given the rain shadow effect with some of the mountainous terrain, some very steep terrain, it goes from extremely wet on the western side, the coastal side, and kind of goes to a little bit drier side. That also has a very long fire return interval cycle in a lot of that area. So a lot of it has really large timber, a lot of heavy fuel accumulations. So suppression out there is extremely difficult and an arduous task. Also in that area, there's a significant area of wilderness. So it's being managed for more of a natural system, so to speak. And it was a really robust discussion and a look at values at risk and probabilities, and a whole assessment team was actually brought in to really evaluate these fires and see what the potential was. And that's what I helped with, and kind of took over as the incident commander for a while, and also helped out within the strategic operational planning area for those fires. Worked heavily with the local folks that are in fire there, as well as natural resource management, and then ultimately the agency administrator. The decision was made to manage those fires for a number of reasons. With the anticipated conditions, there was a demonstration that there would be some good ecological benefit to allowing those to play their role. But a major factor was the risk versus reward discussion. So given their location, some of them very remote, 15 miles worth of hiking, and then very steep terrain, rugged terrain, the difficulty of logistical supply and extraction should there be an injury, and then the heavy fuels and timber that was out there. There was also a lot of bug kill. The risk that we would put at firefighters versus the values that were at risk just didn't make a lot of sense. It wasn't worth risking people's lives. So the decision was to manage them with a little bit more hands-off approach. And what I mean by that is not being heavily suppression focused, ordering a lot of resources and performing a typical direct or indirect suppression strategy. They're still managed quite a lot. So there's a lot of analysis and evaluation and looking at, the probability of how they're going to move across the landscape and things like that. So we set up a number of trigger points and conditions in a long plan. So it required constant evaluation, plus it had a lot of set items in there: weather conditions, fire movement, different things like that, as to actions we would take. And it was constantly managed and evaluated.